It's time for Remodel Revolution Radio. And now, an award-winning contractor with over 40 years' experience. Here is Alex Guthrie.
Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution Radio, where we are so glad that you join us because every day is a gift, and we sure appreciate you spending some of your day with us. Any day with us is always welcome. If you're listening on the radio and you get home, you want to listen to us on Facebook, go to remodelrevolutionradio.com and check or go to Facebook and then key in Remodel Revolution Radio, and it'll pop you right in there. Also, if you want to check us out on Twitter, go to Remodel Rev. I've been posting all kinds of fun stuff up there this week, podcasts, and also some of the vids of my show, which is on the Facebook Live. I just copy them over to it. And also, really, the podcast is really kicking in. We've been doing a lot of podcasting, recording, and our series, Women in Construction, concludes today with part 4 of the 4-part series. And it has been so amazing, an amazing process for me, learning, meeting these ladies, and I already knew how wonderful they were. That's why I asked them to be on. But they have gone far beyond anything I expected. They are just amazing ladies. Today we have Pierrette Magleby, and she runs the Magleby Construction up in Park Cities, Utah. And she's going to be on with us in the second hour. We're going to talk about her journey from starting from where she started to getting to where she is. And it's quite interesting. In the first hour, the doctor is in the house. That's the Grout Doctor, Jim Bob Garner. And we're going to talk to him about all things grout, cleaning grout, when it's time to replace it, all those things. And so you should really get your pen and pencil ready, because we're going to have some great tips for you for cleaning and caring for your grout and that type of thing. Also, make sure and check and like the Remodel Revolution Radio on Facebook, because all of our notices will pop up on your Facebook. We do some live things during the week. Every now and then I'll pop in and do something. Also, check out our Remodel Revolution Radio YouTube. We've been posting quite a few things. I'm also posting some short videos that I'm doing on job sites that are things that I'm finding interesting. We're going to talk about one of them here in just a little bit. The phone lines are open, 800-281-8255, 800-281-8255. Phone lines will be open for about another 45 minutes or so. So give us a call if you have a question or comment. Don't talk about anything other than nice things about me. Otherwise, I don't care. You can say anything ugly you want. I'm just kidding. Be nice. Be nice. If you don't have time to call during the show and want to leave a message during the week, you can dial 469-629-9202. That is the hotline during the week. You can leave a message. We'll play your question on the air and probably call you before we do that and talk about it. So that's a lot of fun. So we're going to talk about podcasting real quick. Of course, I just talked about the part 4 of the Women in Construction series. And if you're new to podcasting, it's really simple. From your smartphone or computer, just download a free podcast app of your choice. So you can go to iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, which is where I post my podcasts, any number of places, and you go on your phone and you just download that app. It doesn't cost you anything. And then once you're in there, you just go into the little search window and you just start typing in Remodel Revolution. And before it's all spelled out, it'll pop up there and you'll see our podcast. And we have, I don't know, 12 or 13 podcasts up so far. We're going through old shows and things like that and cleaning them up and making them podcast worthy. And so you ought to give that a try. A lot of people are doing it. It's a really great way to listen, and also to hear information that maybe you've missed, or I tag them so that you'll kind of know what the show was about, what the podcast is about. So if I'm having a guest on that you're interested in a product or service that they offer, you can always go back to that podcast and listen to it. Part 1, 2, and 3 of the Women in Construction series was really, really popular. It's really well received. I'm getting people listening to it all over Canada, US, Europe. Pretty interesting. These series will wrap up today for that, and then we're going to move into a new series probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, called First Generation Americans in Construction. And that is surely going to be a very, very interesting series to have. It will be, of course, broadcasting it live here on Facebook Live on our second hour. And then it'll go up to our podcast site. And it's going to be some very interesting people that have come to our country as immigrants, started construction businesses, and are most of them are doing quite well. And I think that I have a special place in my heart for it, and I'm sure most people do, because we're all immigrants in this country initially. And I know that my great-grandfather stepped off a boat in Galveston, Texas in 1880 with a bunch of kids and no wife. And most of them survived and have done, spent now 3 generations here. And so I have a special place in my heart for people that take the plunge and they take everything they've got and they move to another country. I don't care what the country is, and where you may not speak the language real well, and you start a business and you're successful. That is an amazing thing. And I'm super excited about this new podcast series. I know some of these people, and I have a lot of respect for what they've done. And that leads us to the green tip of the day, brought to you by Hargrave Foundation Repair, the original Hargrave, established in 1968. Hey, have you been throwing those coffee grounds out in the trash? Well, shame on you. Here's some tips on what to do with them. These are tip number 1 is how to use old coffee grounds in the garden. One is as a pest repellent. Sprinkle used coffee grounds around your plants to protect them against destructive garden pests like ants, snails, and slugs. And if the slugs eat enough of them, you'll have the fastest slugs. No, It has been said that old grounds mixed with dried orange peel will keep away some small animals like cats, though Felix can be a tough customer. If coffee and orange peel doesn't work, try rosemary oil instead. Who needs catnip? Also, number 2, fertilize your garden. Certain acid-loving plants love coffee grounds, so toss them out there. It can't really hurt. 3, compost. Compost it for later. If you don't have a use for coffee ground fertilizer right away, go ahead and throw it in the compost heap. Coffee grounds make excellent green matter, as they are rich in nitrogen, and also they are beneficial to worms. Also, beneficial worms may be attracted to your compost with the addition of old coffee. Just be sure to limit the amount of grounds that you add to your pile so that you don't throw off the ratio. Well, I guess you could rate that. You can do that by how many pots of coffee you drink a day. I don't know. Caffeine for carrots. If you love carrots and you love coffee, then you're in business. Your carrots will love you back if you share your old grounds with them at planting time. Before you sow carrot seeds, mix them with some old dried coffee grounds to give them an energy boost right from the get-go. You'll get better and better produce, an added bonus of deterring pests, and you'll have the speediest wabbits in the neighborhood. Absorb food odors. Used coffee grounds can be used much like baking soda for absorbing food odors in the refrigerator and freezer. Just load up a small open container with your old grounds, place it in the back of the fridge, then forget about it. Yeah. I've got lots of stuff in the back of the fridge that I have forgotten about. Most of it isn't brown like coffee. It's mostly green and yellow. And Greg, do you have like old green stuff growing in your refrigerator?
No, I'd have to have food in the refrigerator.
You don't
first.
eat. Oh, you're a batch. You're a bachelor.
Yes.
So do you eat out every day? So
No, not entirely. But
anything in the refrigerator's like got a Taco Bell wrapper around it or something.
there's a couple of things in there that have been in a little too long.
Uh-huh. Are they growing roots?
Not yet. I'm expecting it any day. Actually, I thought I saw something last night that might actually crawl out of the refrigerator.
It's tough when you have to put a lock on your refrigerator door to keep stuff from climbing out.
It's really interesting when you come in and the inside of the refrigerator is knocking to get out.
Coffee grounds are a natural abrasive. Sprinkle old coffee grounds into an old cleaning cloth. Use them to scrub away food stuck on the counters. Be careful if you have roaches or ants. You'll never be able to catch them. That's what I threw in there. Beautiful golden dye. If you've ever spilled coffee on a white shirt, you know the beautiful golden color, which I'm referring. Turn that pesky coffee stain around and use it to your advantage. Well, we know it works on carpet shirts and car seats. And exfoliate your skin with coffee grounds. Makes a great body scrub, according to this article. Mix it with coconut oil. And rejuvenating, it's a rejuvenating facial. Okay. Now here's the final one that I really liked, but I'll never be able to try. It says, coffee for your hair. If you use a lot of hair styling products, or if you've recently switched to natural shampoo or conditioner, your hair is probably weighted down by residue. Not a problem in my house.
Well, those 2 or 3 on top of your head might benefit.
They'll grow faster. Remove that buildup using old coffee grounds. And then you can tell the plumber when he's unclogging the drain, when he asks you why are there coffee grinds in the tub drain, you just go, well, I did my hair. Well, that is our...
You were exfoliating, taking care of your face and your hair all in the same shot.
That's right. That is my expanded green tip of the day. Hey, are you needing some foundation work done? Seeing some cracks around the house that making you nervous? What if I told you Hargrave Foundation Repair will pay you to give you a quote? That's right. Here's the deal. Give Randy and Chris and Caleb a call and tell them you heard it from me, and you'll get a $25 Home Depot card when they hand you your quote. Now, that's a deal you won't get anywhere else. So give them a call at 972-442-3415 and tell them Alex made you do it, or contact them at hargravefoundation.com. And next, as always, the Builder's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Windsor Door, where the pros go for garage doors. WindsorDoor.com. And when we come back from this break, this is something you do not want to miss. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Remodel Revolution Radio. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. Thanks for sticking around. The Builder's Tip of the Week is brought to you by Windsor Door, where the pros go for garage doors, windsordor.com. So, are you ordering your appliances, lighting fixtures, or plumbing fixtures online and bypassing your builder or designer to save some fees? Well, that's okay. But there are some rules. I wrote this one this week because this has always been the case ever since I've been in business. It's not a big deal. I understand people trying to save money, but there are a few things that you need to know. And number one is if you break it, you buy it. Or more to the point, if it's broke, you have to get it replaced. It's no one's responsibility but yours, and you own the problem. Now I'm speaking to you as a homeowner, because I have to give this little speech often when people want to buy their own things. I don't mind them. It's their house. But because there's certain things that you don't know that we have to deal with as builders and designers when we order these for you. And that's why that first one is very important. Number two, because of insurance liabilities, not every appliance company will deliver inside the home. We have appliance companies that will deliver and leave it outside the door. They won't set foot inside that home for insurance reasons, and that's irritating. To drive up and find your brand new kitchen appliances sitting in the driveway, not a good thing. So you have to make arrangements to have someone there to get the appliances into the dwelling while the delivery guy's there, hopefully. If an appliance, plumbing, or electrical fixture doesn't work after it's been properly installed, you get the honor and privilege of dealing with the supplier to have it repaired, which includes removal and replacement. Now, one of the things that I get to deal with on a regular basis, and pretty much every builder, remodeler, designer, whoever's responsible for these jobs, particularly kitchens, this is where most of this applies to, kitchens and bathrooms, is that things don't go as planned most of the time. It's not unusual that we have an appliance that's not working right. It wasn't installed properly. It has a chip in it. It's got a dent in it. Something's missing. It doesn't flush right, whatever. And someone has to be responsible for getting the repair person out there, repairing it, or often removing it and replacing it. And that's a process. Has to go. Someone has to deal with it. If you pay me, if you're buying the appliances through me, your contractor, that's my problem. I get that all handled. You just come home, you have a new dishwasher in there. But if you're not paying me for that, well, guess what? That's your problem. Someone has to be there to accept delivery. That's you. Sometimes, most times, delivery people are late, lost, or at lunch. Well, that's not a joke either. It's very rare that I have delivery people show up on time, where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be. It's usually one or two phone calls and someone's late. So if you're going to wait on appliances and you don't want to pay me to do it, that's fine. Just be ready for that. Now that you've assumed the role of designated delivery person, you should know not to assume anyone is communicating with anyone about anything that is relevant to you getting your stuff on time or even to the right address. So it is incumbent on you to force the issue no matter how many hours on the phone it takes. Now, all designers and all builders listening to this show know exactly what I am talking about. When I know that there's going to be a delivery to a house, I try my best to follow up the morning of with a phone call. Now, a good delivery company will do just the opposite. They'll call me first, but I try to follow up with a phone call or start out the day and say, okay, you're supposed to be there. Are you going to be there? And then often it's really a good idea if you jot down who you talk to and what time and all that stuff. It's kind of a phone confirmation. And that way you'll know who to yell at if the guy doesn't show up. So you have to be ready for these things if you're going to take on that responsibility and you don't want to pay somebody for it. Or you could just pay the contractor or designer for their time and trouble and just let them, and just yell at them when all goes wrong. Because that's generally what happens. So just remember that if you want to buy your own stuff. And the reason this is coming up for me is because lots of people, now that we have all of this easy access to Amazon and all these, basically if you go on Amazon, you'll get, and you search for something, you'll get prices for that item from Walmart, whatever the manufacturer is. You might get 4 or 5 different levels of pricing for that same item through different stores. And so it takes a lot of time to do that. Are you thinking about a new garage door, or do you need your garage door serviced? Hearing a little too much squeaky when it opens? Maybe a certain teenager backed out before it was all the way up. Well, these things happen, but do not fret. Give my friends at Windsor Door a call, and they'll take great care of you. That's WindsorDoor.com. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the doctor will be in the house. He is at the World Headquarters Green Room right now. Jim Bob Garner is about to jump in here and tell us how to clean our grout. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Remodel Revolution Radio. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. I love that. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're at the world headquarters. We're looking good today. We're feeling good. We're rocking and rolling. We got the doctor in the house. We don't even feel bad today, but the doctor's here visiting the world headquarters. I have Clayton Householder and Jim Bob Shannon. Jim Bob Shannon, Garner. I know a Jim Bob Shannon.
How do you?
Yeah, an old friend of mine. And every time I hear Jim Bob, I want to say, Shannon. Sorry about that. Pardon me. Jim Bob Garner and Clayton Householder. That's a real name?
That is a real name.
Is that something somebody did in your lineage?
No, I'm sure it wasn't. But but a funny story. I used to work at Sears all through college selling appliances, and they thought that was the department. So nobody knew it was my last name.
I thought you worked in that department. That's hilarious. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Doing well.
Good. So I have been trying to get Jim Bob on here for months, and we just hadn't been able to get hooked up the way we to get him in here. So here we are, and I constantly get questions about cleaning grout, and clean it, whether I need to replace it, seal it, clean it, whatever it is. And you guys have taken it. You're the grout doctor. You're the guys. If you have a question about cleaning grout, 800-281-8255. Give us a call. This is your chance to talk to the doctor for free. 800-281-8255. So let's talk about clean and grout, because clean and grout is like everybody's biggest freaking headache. And I told you earlier that my favorite thing to do is mix some bleach up in a bottle, spray it in that shower, and go fishing. And when I come back, all that red, black, gunky stuff is gone. I don't know if it's dead, gone. I mean, if I was in the shower, it would have killed me. But is that the right thing to do, or what do you guys think?
So I think everybody has their home remedy to deal with it. I certainly did, and it didn't work. So it was frustrating me.
So did you have like special mold, or?
No, I'm not talking about my shower. I'm talking about my kitchen floor. So my kitchen floor was driving me insane because it's just
tile
dirty, floor, dirty grout.
Can't ever get the grout clean. It's always kind of
you can
ugly.
do every remedy, and then it looks a little bit better, and you just didn't quite get it. So so the way I got into this business is it was frustrating me so much that actually Jim Bob came out to the house. I wasn't in the grout business. I was in another business at the time. And when Jim Bob came out to the house, he took one look at my kitchen floor and he said, and I asked him point blank, I said, "Can you clean this?" And he looked me straight in the eye. He said, "No." He said, "I can't get it one uniform color." He said, "I can clean it, but it's not going to be perfect, one uniform color. So why would you pay me all that money to clean it, then put a sealer on it, right?" So then I'm scratching my head looking at him and I'm going, "Well, what do you do if you can't clean it, right?" He says, no, I can clean it, but it just doesn't look perfect.
You can't make the color. You can't even out the color because grout is basically a cementatious product. It's very porous.
It absorbs the dirt.
And it absorbs it, and it gets down in there. And then, of course, on the floor, you're walking in there and grinding. And in a kitchen, that's the worst place.
That is the worst. So, after Jim Bob told me he said, "I can even bring a power washer into your kitchen, and I can't get it.
You could wash the grout out before you could wash the dirt out."
Exactly. So then I looked at him and I says, "Well, thanks for being honest, because I've been paying all these other companies for 15 years, to come clean and seal it. And then 8 months later, it looks terrible again."
Uh-huh.
And I said, so what do you do?
I said, we need to color seal it. We need to get it all uniform with the proprietary products we have.
So you recolor it.
We recolor it.
You recolor it, and then you seal it.
Yes. Well, the sealer has
is the color.
Color is the seal.
I see.
We have a very special sealer. We can make any pigment. We've got it pre-mixed to all the Grout Doctor. I mean, all the grout colors out there. So that's what we do in a nutshell.
And so I've heard about this grout coloring for years, and I don't remember if we ever used it, because you can now go and get a little pen and you can get all these funky, you look at this little pen like a Marks-a-Lot, and you're like, am I going to actually go in that shower and do that to every grout line? I don't think so. I'll live with it.
Yeah, a lot of people will do that, and those pins, they'll do it. They'll take the time to do it, and 2 weeks later, it's gone.
Right.
Those pins, they just don't.
So
work.
what's the secret? The sealing?
The
secret to change to getting. We know we can't change the color. Cement's cement. You can call it grout. You can call it concrete countertops. You can call it sealed, whatever you want to do. But I want to tell you my experience with concrete, and this is all basically the same thing, is that it stains, and there's no getting around it. And so you have to learn to live with that and stay on top of it. If you're really, some people are just, kind of anal about their grout. That's cool. I get that. But you can't call the Grout Doctor in 5 years and go, well, I've been looking at this for 5 years and it's just driving me crazy. Can you make it look like new? Because you are the Grout Doctor.
Yeah.
And your response would be?
Yes, we can.
My gosh.
We have
That's a miracle.
We have our methods.
That's our tagline. We make existing showers and floors look amazing.
You do, though, actually, because I've had you work for me.
We do. Now,
and you're amazing.
One distinction, or there's two basic types of grout. One is sanded grout, which we can color seal. The other is non-sanded grout, which won't accept a color sealer long term.
And that's a different consistency in the grout. Basically, the non-sanded, there's certain uses for each one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For the real tight grout joints, people usually use non-sanded grout. It's it basically has no
It's
aggregate.
finer.
It has no aggregate.
Right.
The aggregate in sanded grout is sand.
Right. And so the more sand it has, the more porous it is. It's got more. It can grab more stuff,
The
and
faster
so
it gets dirty.
right. So let's go through the process of that. Someone calls you, and you show up in their bathroom, their house, and you look at their bathroom floor. What are you typically doing? A floor or a surround or all of it, all the above?
We do all the above.
So I know you do that. What's your typically called out for?
Showers.
Showers.
Yeah. Is our typical. They want to get rid of that black.
Yeah. And so how can you come in and I know you can clean it, color it, seal it. How long does that last?
Depends on what they clean it with. The homeowner needs to clean it with a neutral cleaner of some sort.
What is that? What's a neutral cleaner? What does that mean?
It's the pH level. There's acidic cleaners.
Uh-huh.
There are basic cleaners. Most of the store-bought cleaners ruin your grout, basically.
Why is that?
They're just too strong. They leave too much soap behind.
So they're leaving too much sediment behind, or
Yeah.
too much whatever behind.
They're also etching the grout.
Oh, really?
That's why some of them work, is because they etch the grout, take the top layer off, so you get down to the bottom, a layer below. But 5 years later, you have no more grout.
Uh-huh.
So we can walk into a shower and see when the people are using the wrong cleaner, because it's just eating the grout, basically.
So let me ask you something. I'm really curious about this. Is there a difference between old grout, the quality of the grout they used to use versus the quality of the grout they use now, or is it essentially just the same? In other words, in an older shower, like you're in an older home, older shower, is that grout any harder, better, more durable than what you see now? Does it stay, or?
It's not necessarily the grout. It's the craftsmanship.
Oh, okay.
The craftsmanship of the house will hold up, and that's why you can go into homes that were built in the 20s and 30s, and the bathroom still looks pristine rather than dirty grout.
Uh-huh.
Versus you go to a house that was built in 2008 and the shower's falling apart.
Oh, well, that part. Well, yeah.
So it's in the old homes, they use cement lath. You're
talking about the substrate. You're talking about the real basic part of building a shower or bath or whatever. You're talking about what the grout is stuck to.
Yes, sir.
And it is definitely different. There's no doubt about that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that affects how well the grout stays in the grout joint.
Yes.
In other words, the less it moves, the better.
Yes.
Right?
The less movement the household
Right.
has or the tile has, the better the grout.
So essentially, grout's the same. Essentially, the grout is the same. It's just you're seeing a difference in the way things are built.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of difference in the traditional cementitious grout, whether it be sanded or non-sanded,
Uh-huh.
whether it was many years ago or today.
Uh-huh.
In adding to his comment on craftsmanship, a lot of times the guys used an admix, back in the 50s and 60s, called admix.
Yeah.
And that made the grout harder.
Yeah. I remember it.
Yes.
We're using it in the 70s and 80s too, and then they quit using it.
We had a little bit, the grouts did get a little bit better, so we didn't have to use
Well,
it.
they started depending on a surface application. It was like that. I talk to tile guys right now. They don't know what admix is. I always thought it was just something that they used
all the time.
But I think overall, and I don't want to get way off into la la land here, but in concrete in general, that's been the case. So, the older bathrooms are just built better, so you're not having to deal, because I know that as a remodeling contractor, I look at a lot of houses and I walk in and I just scratch my head and go, man, And having been in business as long as I have, I've gone from a scratch coat base, which for those of you listening and watching that don't know what that is, that's where we actually applied concrete to the walls and then we grouted to it. And nowadays they apply a sheet of tile backer, which is cementatious concrete, but it's pieces. It's not a shell like we used to build, and that's the difference. We used to build a shell, a continuous shell. Some of us still do, incidentally, when we can. But it's harder and harder to find tile guys that know how to do it because they just don't understand it. I run into city inspectors that don't understand it as well, believe it or not. So anyway, so you can color seal, and that kind of gets that grout cleaned up. But now we had one recently where I had you re-grout a shower.
Yes.
Let's walk real quick through that process.
So as we come in to do an estimate, we are looking for cracking, holes, or just completely mildewed grout, and we make a determination of if we need to regrout the entire thing, regrout the floor, or just recaulk the shower. Usually the homeowner knows what they want by the time we get there, but
or they've seen the damage from the missing grout, and that's why they're calling you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's leaking downstairs or something to that effect.
So when we walk in the shower, there's going to be one of two scenarios. It's going to be a sanded grout or a non-sanded shower. So the process we apply depends on whether it's sanded or non-sanded. If it's sanded grout shower, we don't want to take all the sanded grout out and beat your shower to death.
Right.
Because it's hard to take out. But we will take out the base perimeter, corners, get all that cleaned up.
All the loose stuff and
Yes.
where the cracks are showing up and
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff.
And then some of us go ahead and color seal that whole shower
Uh-huh.
to make it look brand spanking new.
And is that just like an option you would give a home? It's like we can replace it, regrout it, seal it, blah, blah, blah. It's X amount of dollars, or we can recolor and seal the whole shower and it's X amount of, it's not a money thing with me on this show, but it's these are options that are available to people.
In my business, in our business, we don't give them the option.
Oh, really? So you just say this is what needs to be done.
We're going to make that shower look almost brand spanking
because
new.
you've got to stand behind it.
It's so much. It's so great for the brand.
Sure.
I mean, when you walk out, if I was going to go in business for myself, I told myself I'm going to go into a business where when our employees walk out, the customer has never been happier, and they're always ecstatic.
That's awesome.
When we walk out.
That's awesome.
Whether it be a floor, shower, whatever.
So a lot of what I experience is things that we've added to the grout, like shower doors, or we've added towel bars, shower doors, whatever. It's usually something leaking around the tile that's causing the problem. So water going through a screw hole, water going around in a scutcheon, and it's a lot of times it's damaging what's behind the tile that starts creating the problem for what you start. And by the time you see it, you got a real problem. So I guess then you have to give the sad news to your customer. Well, we're gonna have to tear out this tile. And now, do you do those repairs behind it, or is that just something they have to find someone else to do, or how's that work?
I will do small repairs. Clayton, he has another company that does full shower remodels. So
I see.
If he sees it, or if I see it, I'll refer it out. We are very niche, and we stick to the grout for the most part. So
a lot. Go ahead.
But absolutely, we do that. I mean, we have to take off. The protocol is there's no easy way to take out grout.
Right.
We're using manual razor blades and scrapers,
just like anybody else would have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are some new tools today, but those tools get real dusty, and nobody wants a lot of dust in their home, right? So as we're taking that out, the protocol is if we take it out and the tile stays, fine. And if a tile pops off, but it's all dry back there, we just clean it up and put it back on.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with the doctor. And Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance Helical Pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel, and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all, and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordoor.com.
I'd like to see the foreman. Can you give me the foreman here? You're the foreman? Yeah. Well, I need to see the plans then for this house because you're making a very big mistake. Get the plans for me, please. Here you go. Whoa, wait a second. These are wrong. What? These are wrong. What do you mean? These are wrong plans. What? These are the old plans. Old. These are the old plans.
Now back to Remodel Revolution Radio with a man who likes to build houses in the shape of a donut, Alex Guthrie.
Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. 800-281-8255. That is the number. Give us a call if you have a question for the Grout Doctor. Both of them in the house. I got 2 doctors here today. Jim Bob Garner and Clayton Householder. We're talking cleaning grout and fixing grout and all kinds of grouty stuff. But we also, a lot of where the trends have gone the last few years more than in the past for showers is natural stone. And natural stone can be really pretty and a big pretty pain in the you-know-what to keep clean because it has a lot of tendencies to it calcifies, and it doesn't like treated water. It doesn't like the chemicals in our water. And people there's a word called effervescence. And I run into this a lot. I know you do. And it shows itself in the grout is where it usually shows itself because of the water. When the water evaporates out of the grout, it leaves behind a residue that is kind of milky white. And if left for too long, kind of starts growing on its own. It's like the little stalagmites that are in the caves. It's the same stuff. It's calcium. And so is probably a big challenge for you guys.
The shower pan systems of today, if they're built correctly, the efflorescence is not that big of a deal. But once you get shower pans holding water, and that calcium needs somewhere to go, if the shower pan system's designed correctly and installed correctly, it's
how fast it evaporates out and gets dry.
If it's able to, if the system's working and it's able to go out the weep holes and all,
and go down the bottom,
down the weep holes through the bottom of the drain,
right?
Then we don't see a lot of it. But if that system's messed up and you've got standing water,
I see it on the sidewalls, and I see it on buildings in brick, and I see it in lots of different areas. And it depends on what the material is that's on the surface a lot of times, but it also depends on, like you say, the drain. If the water's evaporating through it out the front, it's different than if it's going behind it and getting out. You're absolutely right. At least as far as what you see.
Yes.
It just depends on how it's coming out. But I know that I've had one recently that they used a whole bunch of limestone. And my gosh, what a crazy bad idea that was in a shower.
The natural stone is beautiful in a shower with proper maintenance. And people are shocked that when I walk in and say these showers are the highest traffic areas you're going to have. So they need to be sealed every 3 to 6 months.
That's amazing.
It needs to be checked and or sealed every 3 to 6 months.
But see, when they see that sample piece, they see that sample at the tile store, wherever they're looking for it, it's nice and shiny.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And you look at it and you go, well, that's not a problem, man. That's going to be easy. And then what they don't realize is that granite and that marble, any natural stone is super, super porous. It just soaks that water in, and a lot of it, or some of it, it's virtually impossible to seal it out. You just can't do it. It's too poor. You're fighting nature, and that's been my experience with it. And so, what are there sealants that can? Is it really 3 months? Is it you really have to do it that often?
When I say a typical 3 to 6 months, that's in a very high traffic, shower, right?
So is that like high traffic? Is that once a day?
Once, twice a day, husband, wife type thing. But and that's the sealer a customer can go buy off the shelf.
Right.
Now we do have some sealers that will last longer, but it takes a restoration process and the sealer, and that. They'll last you a year in a shower.
But it also can change the look.
There are sealers that can change the look, but the other sealers we have, it changed the look originally, but then 15, 20 minutes later when it dries, it goes back to its original.
Well, that's been my big challenge with homeowners is they're like, I want it to do this, but I don't want to change anything about it. And you go, well, you picked the wrong material. Because if you want it to be totally sealed, then we have to use a sealer that it's always going to look wet. That's what a lot of sealers do. So let's talk about sealers. You have a penetrating sealer and you have a non-penetrating sealer. Explain that to us.
Your penetrating sealers soak in. They don't change the colors, anything. They stay natural. Your wet
because they're below the surface of the grout,
yes,
and the surface of the stone.
Yes, and they're pushing away the water. The wet look sealers that
okay.
The wet look sealers that you are using, those are all topical, and they will change the color.
So that they sit on top; they don't actually absorb in, and those are sealers that have to be replaced often because they wash off.
They do, and the topical sealers, there are some sealers out there that have a little bit more longevity.
How do people get in touch with you guys real fast?
Go to our website, thegroutdoctor.com.
Okay.
We have different phone numbers.
Well, that's okay. We'll just go to the Grout Doctor and find you. Really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
It's time for Remodel Revolution Radio. And now, an award-winning contractor with over 40 years' experience. Here is Alex Guthrie.
Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. Hey, check us out, remodelrevolutionradio.com. Boy, we've got all kinds of stuff going on that website. Been posting on the blog a bit, and I've been doing a lot of podcasting, a lot of podcast posting. Go to Spreaker.com or just to your favorite podcast site. Upload one on your phone. They're free. And then go to Remodel Revolution Radio, and there we are, kapowie, free entertainment for your enjoyment. Hey, you didn't have time to call today in the first hour. Well, you can call the red line at the world headquarters, 469-629-9202, any time of day, 24/7. Leave a message. Alex will call you back, and maybe we'll talk about it on the air if you want. But the thing I've been looking forward to all week is when I have this person, Pierrette Magleby. And we have been talking about doing this women in construction discussion with her for quite a while. And I'm very happy to have her with us live from Park City, Utah. Hello, Pierrette.
Hi, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. We're so glad to have you. This is part 4 of our series. This is the icing on the cake. That's who I've got here. And this series has been just fantastic to not only produce and to MC as we would have it, but also the ladies that I have met and had the honor of having here have been just dynamic. And this lady has got just a fantastic story, a great journey. And she started out at the Southern California, University of Southern California, and you were going to be in media.
I was going to have your job, Alex.
Well, I bet your job pays better.
Well, that was one of the deciding factors. I got a master's degree in journalism and worked at CNN in London and worked at a number of different stations across Southern California and Los Angeles.
CNN in London, so they shipped you over the pond.
Yeah, they sent me overseas. You know, I think maybe they were trying to get rid of me.
Were they trying? You must be trouble.
No, I was always more interested in kind of international news, and so I spent some time over there. It was fantastic, but ended up coming home to finish my graduate degree, and the war in Iraq actually broke out while I was back home in the United States, and most of my London-based contacts all went into the Middle East and Kuwait to be embedded journalists. And I already had 2 brothers in the military. My parents were not about to send another kid to the Middle East, and so I stuck around in LA and ended up getting recruited into the home building industry.
So you had 2 brothers in the Middle East at the same time?
I did, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Me and one in the Navy.
Oh,
so,
mercy.
Talk about a little bit stressful.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And so you come back and were you still going to stay in journalism?
You know, I was, and I was working for some stations in the Los Angeles area, finished my degree, and was working out there. I had a girlfriend, a close friend, who worked at Pulte Homes in the Las Vegas market. And at the time, they were growing really quickly and looking to recruit out of colleges. There weren't a lot of college resources in the Las Vegas area, and so they targeted a few different states for recruiting, and California was one of them. So I started helping her set up recruiting trips to find new sales associates for Pulte Homes in Las Vegas.
Now, what is a
And-
recruiting trip? Is that where you load a bus full of college kids and you take them to the beach in the desert because you're in Vegas, but by the time it's all over with, as far as they know, they've been to the California coast. They don't know.
Right. Yeah. You just take them to one of the casinos that has a nice beach.
Right. Right.
No, they would come out from Las Vegas and, try and fill a room with smart recent graduates from USC and pitch them on why a career in home building and construction would make a lot of sense, and talked about paths for upward mobility and long-term careers and management skill sets. And so I would help them fill the room and then take a bunch of kids out to dinner and show them a good time and convince them that they should all move to Las Vegas.
And then they wake up the next morning and they go, Pierrette, you got me to sign what? What is well, I don't remember signing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that. I know that routine.
But unfortunately, actually, very fortunately, they ended up doing the same thing to me.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you were the experiment.
Yes.
How long did that last?
So I helped them with recruiting efforts for probably about 6 months before they got their claws in me and convinced me that, they would help me relocate to Las Vegas. They'd pay for my real estate license.
Wow.
It was kind of a, I guess I looked at it like, what do I have to lose? I'll go out there for a while. If I absolutely hate it, I can always move back to California. I've got a master's degree. I can always go into journalism or something else.
Yeah, right.
And so I packed my bags and I left. I was like living 2 blocks from the beach in Santa Monica.
Oh, no.
I moved to Las Vegas in June. So I was like, really, this is hot.
So you moved
what did I do?
You moved to the desert in summer?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they really had you fooled.
They did.
But the thing about Vegas is there's really no outside, right? I mean, you could live in Caesars forever, like Elton John did, and you'll never know. You'll never know you left. If you're in or out.
Well, they pump enough oxygen in there, that they just keep you motivated.
That's right. And so you start. Where did you start with Pulte or in your home building career?
So I went to Las Vegas with Pulte Homes, and I actually started as a sales associate trainee. So at the time, they really invested heavily in ensuring that all the new recruits they were bringing in, most of them did not have any home building experience like me.
They wanted you to They wanted to start you from a clean slate.
Exactly. But they invested a lot in us. So we were in training for about 3 months, and that covered all facets of home building. So even though I was going into sales, they put me in virtually every department within the organization for, a week or 2 weeks, so I could really see how the whole thing functioned. And then after 3 months, you have to test out, and you end up being a full-fledged sales associate that could actually make commissions.
So you end up going through all the different phases of the home building process. I mean, you have to understand how the technical things about the house, and so that when you're talking to people, they understand that you get it.
Absolutely. And especially as, a 22-year-old young female without any background in
having probably never swung a hammer in her life or cut a tube before. So did they make you put on boots and go out there and work?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
No, we were out in the field with the construction team. It was
I'm sure they love that.
It's how they got all the trades to show up.
No kidding. Nobody was ever late for work. But they had to coerce them back from lunch.
Right, exactly. They threw all the sales girls out there in hard hats.
That's right.
The houses got built really fast.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's either going to work or it's going to be a little distracting. And so by the time you're a full-fledged sales associate, I guess that's what they probably call you.
Yeah.
You are pretty well rounded in the basics of what it takes to build a home from kind of the dirt up. Did they get you started in the dirt and through the foundation and the entire process of building a house?
They did. And in fact, Pulte, in most of their divisions, also had a land development arm of the company. So we had to kind of learn the process of even the development side and, how a community is kind of undertaken and the grading and the community layouts and all of that side of it, the phasing of land development process. So it was a really fantastic exposure, for someone coming into the industry. It wasn't just all about sales.
Right.
And
well, and necessary.
I would credit that to my, eventual success in home building was, some of that basis for sure.
Sure. And did it stir up a passion in you for home building? Like, I mean, sometimes, you get into something thinking, well, this is just part of the training to do the job. And then all of a sudden you go, wow, this is really fun and cool and exciting and I love it.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that I always really loved about journalism was how every single day was very different.
Yeah.
You could be, doing a show on home building or the next day doing a story on education or politics or international conflict or
Never
whatever.
a dull moment.
Right. And so I kind of found that same, obviously very different, but that same level of interest every single day in the home building industry. There's always kind of something new, something fresh, something that you're designing or building. And I loved that aspect of it.
And then there's the reward at the end of the day, which is something you accomplish something,
There's a tangible result, right, to what you do. You're not just looking at sheets of paper.
Right. It's very, yeah. Luckily for the rest of the world, the builders are builders and they're not having to deal with the paperwork. And so that is all this time you're in Vegas. And is that like years? How long did you stay in Vegas?
So I was in Vegas for about 4 years. I was there during the fallout of the market.
We're talking about the last one, the 2008?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, and honestly, in Vegas, it was before that.
It was like,
led the curve.
Yeah.
So it was like 05, 06. We were already.
Gosh, that was a bloodletting.
It
was awful.
Was like
yeah.
Extreme price reduction. We had a lot of, obviously that market in particular drew a lot of investors and speculators. And so the fallout of contracts in that market and kind of having to piece that whole thing back together. It was an interesting time, but I think it also never allowed me to feel like I was spoiled in the market. I actually kind of missed the big upswing in Vegas and got there right for the fallout. And so I was always used to kind of, getting dirty and the grit of home building in a struggling market and didn't take anything for granted, which I think, again, is another reason that I've been able to kind of succeed in this industry.
Well, there's a lot to be said for, having to start over. There's a lot to be said for the downturns. That's where we learn our lessons, and that's where we learn how to be smart business people or go get another job. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to Pierrette's going to move to, I guess, California or wherever she went from Vegas, wherever that was. I don't know where it was. I'll ask her. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. Don't go away. We'll be right back. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls? Doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. We are here with Pierrette Magleby. I hope I'm saying all that right because that is the hardest. You've got more letters in that first name. Well, it took me 2 years in grade school to figure all those letters out.
Yes, it's definitely a long one on the business card.
It definitely is. So you were in Vegas at probably the worst time ever in the home building industry in my lifetime, which was between 2006 and 2000 whatever 10. I don't know. It seemed like it lasted forever. And so that was some pretty tough lessons that you learned at an early stage of your career.
It was, and I was in sales for about 6 months and then moved into sales management. So at the time it was, going from just kind of trying to take care of yourself and your customers to then rather quickly advancing to now being responsible for.
You're the person that the big guys yelled at. I know where you're going with that. You're, that's tough. That's a tough seat to be sitting in, isn't it?
It is, especially when you have a sales team that was in a super hot market going into a very low market.
Yeah.
Salespeople tend to have some emotional connection to their commissions.
yeah, like the bills.
Right.
And so where did you go from there? So that market, let me just back up real quick. That market went kaplooey. I mean, it was awful watching from here, watching the Las Vegas in particular. That market just tanked like really hard, really fast. And then where do you go from there? Do you go back to California?
No, I actually, one of my division presidents in Las Vegas with Pulte left Pulte prior to me and went down to, it was Morrison Homes at the time, but it became Taylor Morrison when it merged with Taylor Woodrow. And so he was down in the Scottsdale kind of Phoenix market with Taylor Morrison and recruited me to come down and be his VP of sales and marketing. And so I timed that one pretty well also. Like basically Phoenix trailed Las Vegas.
Right, I was going to say
that
was like the next one.
Exact time that I transferred there. So I don't know, maybe this whole housing market was my fault. But.
Just don't tell them where you came from. They're going to think you're jinxing them. It's like you went from one domino to the next.
Totally. So I guess I'm just a glutton for punishment, you know?
Yeah, but at least get punished in nice places, right?
Right, exactly.
and so that, but you know that whole housing, that housing depression is really what I call it, was so weird. It was like it started in certain markets, and I remember here in Dallas, they kept telling us in our builders meetings, we're bulletproof. Don't worry about us. That'll never hit here. And we're all going, oh, really? You know, all the old guys like me that have been through 2 or 3 of these things were like, yeah, right. Okay, what that's banker speak for you better get ready.
Yeah, exactly. Just sticking your head in the sand is not going to work here.
No. It doesn't. And so Phoenix, you were in Phoenix, and so you go from literally hot Vegas to literally hot Phoenix into the snowstorm of the housing boom, the snowstorm of the housing crash, I should say. Where do you go from there?
So after that, Taylor Morrison actually was separating, kind of bifurcating their Northern California operations. The market was starting to show some signs of recovery, and they decided to break the Sacramento division off from the Bay Area division and asked me to head out to the Bay Area to be a division president in that market and help run their operations. I was from Northern California. I grew up in Sonoma County. And so it was very appealing to me to kind of get back home. And I felt like, you know, the Las Vegas market, the Phoenix market, both very similar dynamics with big master plans and, you know, kind of a set portfolio of single family detached homes. And so the Bay Area really appealed to me in that it was a much more urban market. Their product diversity was a lot broader, and we were doing a lot more kind of acquisitions, re-entitlements, and then building homes.
Sort of infill type things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's urban, and that hands you this whole new level of challenge from going from these big, giant, wide open developments, you know, to just a big, you know, square on a piece of desert, to this really cool, gosh, I can't imagine a neater place to be building and developing even smaller plan developments than in Northern California, where it's you've got, you know, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and then you have the density challenges.
Absolutely. It was definitely, you know, broadened my horizons, presented some fun new experiences. And, you know, the other thing that it really humbled me in and taught me was I was used to these markets where home building was a pretty dominant industry.
We're going to take
Vegas, Phoenix. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We're going to have to take a real fast break. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're going to take a quick break. We're with Pierrette Magleby. Don't go away. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordoor.com. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're spending the afternoon, or the morning, I should say, with Pierrette Magleby. She has had a long journey at this point in our story, from starting out as kind of a recruiter for a major home builder in Vegas, and has gone through the recession, and she's in California building at this point. And because I've got so many things I want to talk to you about, I want to move on a little further to where you got to where you are now, because I've done some research on Magleby, which is the company that do you run it? What do you do with Magleby?
So it's our family business. My brother-in-law is our CEO. My father-in-law is the founder. My husband works here managing the construction side of the organization, and I kind of run our Park City operations, and then all things sales, marketing, strategic research, etc.
So you've gone through this whole kind of training for years, really kind of working your way up to this. And then what got you to Magleby? Where'd that come from?
Well, we were living in the Bay Area, and my husband and I both had kind of these high power positions out there and 2 young kids, and just kind of decided that the life we were living was a little more chaotic than we were looking for at that stage. And so we started looking at different ideas and options, and our father-in-law was getting ready to kind of retire out of the Magleby construction business, and we had had so much experience in this parallel universe of construction that they decided to recruit both my husband and I back into the family business to just kind of help elevate the level of professionalism that they had already built on. And it's been really fun and a different experience because we do a lot of custom construction and remodel work, and we have some vertically integrated trades. We have our own cabinet mill. And so to be able to see the business from this perspective is just another, kind of add on to the breadth of experience I've had with the production world.
Well, because you were more in a production type building environment before you got there.
Absolutely. The Bay Area was probably the closest thing that I had to like sort of this semi-custom model where every project was quite different. But Magleby Construction definitely takes it to a whole other level.
Well, and I mean, having been to your website, the houses that you all build and remodel are just unbelievable, and they're beautiful. They're unique, and they're very sophisticated. And so when you go from sort of a production type mentality, I don't mean that disparagingly, but you have sort of a production mentality to me is kind of getting it done, get it done now, and get it done so the big guy at the top can, they can make their profit. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. It's capitalism.
Nope. You need that too. You need that too.
That's what it's about. And so then you go to what you're doing now, which is what I've always done, only not to that scale, which is just a very, big custom project. That's a very personal type thing with your client. And it's a very challenging environment from start to finish, particularly where you're building.
Absolutely. And I think, what's been really fun and exciting about it is the level of professionalism at Magleby Construction mimics what I'd say I've seen in the kind of more corporate environment, but the level of quality and passion and dedication to the client and the customer and getting the home exactly as they envision it is just remarkable.
Well,
all the way down to our labor force.
Yeah, because your labor guys, your tradespeople are, I say guys and gals, your tradespeople are in a big custom home like that, in the type of homes that you're building, they take a great deal of pride in what they're doing. It's a total different mindset than you have in production. In production is just get it done.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, it is what it is. And new custom home, big giant, and you build big houses.
We do.
And that takes a management process. It's totally different. It takes a lot of vision from the very beginning. The minute before you ever pour concrete on the dirt, when you're looking at that lot, you have to have an enormous amount of vision and experience to understand how things are. You have to be able to see the finished product in your head. And it's a complicated house.
It is. We have a number of homes right now that are exceeding 20,000 square feet.
Unbelievable.
Under construction. And again, that level of finish work detail is on another level where, almost every wall is either plaster or reclaimed barn wood or, some other high level finish material. And the team that we have out in the field assembling these homes, both internal tradesmen to Magleby Construction as well as the trade partners that many of whom we've done work with for 40 plus years, their level of artistry and craftsmanship is something like I've never experienced. And it's really motivating to go to work every day and see these guys, and women just so passionate and so skilled.
So for a young woman, a young mom, and your husband and family making this move, and you're going from a kind of a corporate, a not mentality, but a corporate atmosphere, a large corporate atmosphere, to this more private, personal, focused group of people that have to build these homes. As a woman, what type of adjustments did you have to make in your way of thinking and your way of dealing with people, if any?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because even in publicly traded home building operations like Taylor Morrison, women are still a minority in that industry, especially women in executive positions. But it's slightly more common, I think, in that environment because you have so many different departments and different areas of expertise. And so, there was at least like females typically in the sales department and the design department and some of these other areas. At Magleby Construction, we have a far more construction-driven organization. And so there are very few women in our company. Which I think was one of the reasons why, and it was great foresight, I feel like, on my brother-in-law, my father-in-law's decision that they felt they really did need that kind of female perspective, somebody who had a breadth of experience that could come in and kind of hold their own among the guys.
Right,
Many
right.
have been here for 40 years. And, be able to kind of voice their opinion and express their ideas and just provide a different outlook and a different perspective.
Well, sometimes having the girl move into the locker room stirs things up just enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It changes the whole atmosphere, and that sounds like it. Because you're right that, and this is one of the common themes in this series that I've been doing with all these ladies I've talked to, is that women moving into this man's world of construction, it's very, very male. It's all guys, and that you have to be able to kind of go in there and not say, well, I'm a girl, so treat me different. You have to go in there and kind of kick some butt.
Absolutely. You definitely have to have a different level of confidence, right? When you walk in the room, you have to be willing to speak up and speak out and hold your own. But I feel like at the same time, for me, one of the other attributes that I've always felt is really critical is to also be humble about it, right? I mean, there are things that these gentlemen in the room have been doing for 40 years and know far better than I do. And so you have to approach it from both perspectives of, look, I have a different idea, a different dynamic from my experience, and this is where I think I can help drive the company in a direction that will be, positive and profitable, while at the same time understanding that their level of experience in the field needs to be heard and respected, and sometimes, is contradictory to my ideas, and you've got to hear them out and understand why.
Well, that's what you learned in corporate America.
Right,
that's what you learn in
compromise.
Yeah, you learn in a boardroom. You're not going to always agree with everybody, but you don't have to get in there and beat them over the head with it. You just say, I respect your opinion, here's mine, and show each other some mutual respect. And I tried the two before over the head method. And that's when I knew I wasn't gonna. That's when I knew Alex had to work for himself, because he wasn't going to last long in a boardroom. But and so as you've moved into this process, and now you got Magleby Construction is kind of different than a lot of companies. There's probably not a whole lot of big custom home builders that do things the way you all do them. And it's interesting to me because you have. Like you say, you have these vertical companies with you. You have your own cabinet people. You have, I guess, your own mill. Is that correct?
We do, yeah. We produce our own millwork and doors, cabinets, and then we have excavation in-house. We have actually framers in-house and finished carpentry in-house.
And so that's different than a lot of business models have gone to a more of a production type business model, only doing custom, but the parts never connect. I mean, the thing that I've complained about for years, and a lot of people have, is that there's a lot of disconnect in this business because we got away from doing things the way you're doing them. We used to all do it that way. Everything was in-house, and then to stay competitive on the smaller scale than you do, for most of us, we have to go to the other direction just because we can't get competitive pricing and that type of thing. We don't want to be employers. That's basically what it is. But
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an easy way to do it in terms of you know, kind of the HR management side of it. But for us, that ability to control quality and schedule is more important.
Well, and that's what makes you stand out. And so you're bringing in your experiences, and as a woman, and how many women are in the company when you get there? Are you it?
So when I arrived, I'm the only woman on our kind of executive team. But we have probably, I'd say only like 6 or 7 other women.
Out of how many employees?
In Utah, we have about 125 employees.
You're outnumbered, Pierrette.
Yeah, we are. We're small but mighty.
You're small but mighty.
We stick together.
Yeah. Well, if if you're running the right things, the guys know, not to mess with you. Don't mess with her. She signs that paycheck. and so you're kind of having to, kick in some doors and break a couple of glass ceilings, I imagine, when you get in there. I mean, I know you're going to show everybody respect and all that, but still, you still have to be able to have enough, strong enough personality to kind of get through get your point across maybe a little stronger than you might have wanted to going in. Occasionally.
Right.
You're in a meeting and some guy says, well, that's how we've done it for 40 years. And you go, well, yeah, it was good 40 years ago. And it's one thing when it's a guy saying that, but when it's a woman saying that, have you had to kind of dance around some moments like that?
I've been pretty fortunate that I think the team was actually excited and looking forward to trying to find ways to diversify a bit. And I'm sure I also benefit from the fact of the relationship, right? Like I'm part of the family. So maybe they say it behind my back, but
well.
they've all been very welcoming and pretty open-minded, which has been fantastic. And I think for me too, being out here in Utah and in the construction industry in this market, it's allowed me to really get involved in actually some women in leadership kind of organizations. And so I'm on the board of a group called Illuminate that focuses on women business leaders. I have been participating in the national organization Professional Women in Building through the NAHB. And so it's been fun to kind of get to this stage in my career where I feel like I've sort of proven myself, and now I can get involved and give back to other women that are coming up through the industry.
Kind of sharing your experiences and your knowledge.
Absolutely. And, helping to advocate on their behalf as well. I benefit, I think, maybe from having 3 strong brothers growing up where I had to be tough and I had to be confident.
And you had to learn to duck.
Not all women have that, right?
You have to learn. You have to learn how to duck.
Exactly.
I have 4 sisters. I get it. We're going to take a quick
opposite end.
Yeah, right, exactly. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Pierrette about the future of women in construction and how she sees that. Don't go away. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. We'll be right back. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close, give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415.
Like the legend of the Phoenix.
Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're here with Pierrette Magleby. She is like the big lady boss at Magleby Construction, and I think at this point the guys don't mess with you too much. I think you're tough.
I'm all right. I can hold my own.
Okay, well that's the main thing, because guys are really they're really pretty easy if you know the soft spots. When you're born and you have that little soft spot on top of your head, that's a lesson to be learned. I don't think most guys lose those. So I wanted to talk, because we have just a few more minutes. Give us some advice. Give some advice to women coming up behind you. You spend a lot of time with mentoring programs and things like that. How do you see the future for women in construction?
I actually think that there is a lot of opportunity in this industry, and even in some roles that maybe haven't historically been a focus for women. I mean, I think you usually see them in kind of sales and design and sometimes even architecture. But we're starting to see women in project manager roles, in roles in the field. And I think as the industry, struggles, one, to find qualified labor, and two, really starts to change in terms of the decision makers in the home buying process.
Right.
I see the wives and women and single women purchasing homes. And so that leverage of like, who is your consumer has to come into account. And if you have a whole group of older white men designing the homes,
Right.
and your clients are diversifying, not just female, male, but, culturally, ethnically, all of that.
Right.
I feel like the executives at companies making the decisions of what's going into the homes needs to better correlate with that changing consumer group.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We live in a pluralistic society, and you have to have that mentality really in business in general, but particularly in something as personal as a home. You can't just, I've said this repeatedly, and we get a lot of laughs out of it, but I can, as a remodeling contractor, I can walk into a home and pretty well tell you when some old white guy designed the kitchen. No, I should say white guy. When a man has designed a kitchen versus when a woman has designed a kitchen, it's pretty obvious.
Right. Yeah. And, just the way it functions, the aesthetic of it, all of those things. I think that the industry in general is seeing that in the future, for them to kind of survive and adapt and ideally become, more efficient, which is going to happen because we don't have the qualified labor coming through.
Right.
You've got to get it right the first time. And so some of that strategic marketing and demographic surveying and some of those things are becoming more and more part of the conversation, even in the custom home building arena.
Well, and in particular, since one of the biggest home buying groups is single women.
Yeah. Absolutely. We saw a lot of that actually out in Northern California and some of these slightly more progressive markets, I guess. And everyone's talking about the millennial generation, right? There's such a big number of them, but with waiting longer to get married and waiting longer to have children and, focusing on careers and having an income that allows single women, single men, whatever the situation, to make these purchases, it's going to change the face of home building a bit.
It's changed it, and it's there's so many things affecting it. There's so many things that are affecting how we build, what we build with, the size that we build, who our buyer is. It's a ever changing thing every single day. It seems something changes, and then technology, and that is really the biggest change that I see. So I really appreciate you spending the morning with us. It's been really a fun conversation. And how do you want people to get in touch with you?
Well, if anyone is interested in building in the Utah market, or we actually also have a division out in Sun Valley, Idaho, we would love to talk to you. We've got remodel as well as kind of estate homes, and www.maglebyconstruction.com is probably the best place to go to find more information. You've
been awesome. You're an amazing lady. You've had an incredible journey. And I know that I'm sure your father-in-law is really glad you came along, and you and your husband came out there and got in the business with him. And I so appreciate you being here with me today. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. You too, Alex. Thank you. And thanks to all your listeners.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Pierrette Magleby. What a great interview that was. We're going to take next weekend off, celebrate Labor Day. We'll be running a show, though, of course. And go check me out at remodelrevolutionradio.com. Check out our podcast. Bye-bye.